Was it you or was it D'Antoni? 7 seconds or less.
Mike's amazing.
Yeah.
Mike just had a great feel
Yeah.
for the game,
Yeah.
like especially offensively. Mike knows defense. He knows basketball. He draws up great plays after timeouts. He knows the game inside and out. But what I loved about Mike is that he was willing to go away from what everyone else was doing.
Oh, for sure.
So when I signed with Phoenix 2004 as a free agent, came back, started playing pickup with the guys in September. And I think Mike realized there, it was a team that hadn't won many games. They had some young guys, Sean and Amari, obviously great athletes. Joe Johnson was developing into a terrific player. And I think he saw us playing pickup basketball. He's like, why would I slow this down and get into sets that are going to make them less effective than opening this up? Let's put Amari at the 5. Let's put Sean at the 4. Let's switch a lot more. We'll find a way to use our quickness to defend in different ways, and we'll outscore people. And so I think Mike was brilliant in that, like, he was willing to say, wait, why would I? That's almost harder. Like, you can go and find, this is the, ATOs.
Right.
You can look around the world and find whatever you want. But for him to say, like, I'm not going to do what everyone else is doing and take that chance and that risk, it definitely brought the best out of me. Going smaller, having a great roller, 2 with Sean, having shooters around, being able to just create space for me to operate and to make plays, make decisions for my teammates. So I think, one, that was a culmination of me developing and continuing to put my foot down as far as trying to get better. Like, little things like going into that summer, I always wanted to stay with the Mavericks. I think Mark had been burned on a couple deals. I was 30. At that time, I was attacking the basket a little bit kamikaze. Didn't maybe have the balance to my game. I think he was scared, so he let me go. So, all these things kind of happened. But before that happened, I'm thinking to myself, we lost in the playoffs. I think it was Sacramento. They put a third defender on our side of the court whenever we were playing 2-man game. There was nothing there for me. I always had to go the other side, and they'd play 2-on-1, and that was it. And Rick Adelman was like, I'm happy to let these guys over here play, and in a sense took me out of the series. So I was like, that's not happening again. I'm going to get sharper. I'm going to be better. I'm going to shoot a better percentage. And one of the things that I think helped me a little bit was I played out of my left hand a lot, and I drove left, and I pulled up going right. And that summer, I was like, I'm going to clean that up. I'm going to be able to pull up going both ways, drive the ball both ways. And so I really worked on some of my deficiencies as an athlete,
for sure.
Balance, stability, footwork, quickness in and out of a pull-up, so that now I had more solutions, going left pull, going left runner, floater, going right pull, right floater, finishing both ways. I think it just unlocked a little more. And then Mike saying, we're going to play small. We'll have Amari rolling. We'll have guys running wide. We'll have shooters around, and we'll let Steve go to work. And so I think those two kind of things happening at the same time set me up for a lot of success and set our team up.
Yeah, and a lot of the conversations wasn't really talked about that much about guys doing the 50-40-90 thing. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Reggie did it. Once maybe in the 90s.
I think Bird did it.
Yeah, I think Bird did it. I'm not quite sure if Ray had done it yet. Maybe. We can always look that up. Not quite sure. But it became a thing when you were doing, because it was like, oh shit, every year. Like, once you got into your pocket, it was like 50 from the field, 40 from 3, 90 from the free throw line. And everybody was trying to figure out a way how they could fucking obtain that. Everybody's trying to do that now. Like, everyone, not only 50-40-90, but now everyone is playing 4 out, 1 in. You got a guard
or 5 out.
Or 5 out. And trying to figure out how to create space. Like, you said in 2004 or 2005, like when you went to Phoenix, we remember fucking San Antonio, 2 bigs. Detroit, 2 bigs. Miami played with 2 bigs. Like Sacramento, 2 bigs. Like, everybody were playing 2 bigs. And I don't think that you and I don't think that Mike gets enough credit for revolutionizing the game to where it is today. They always talk about players. They talk about how transcendent a player can be. Magic and Bird and, Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe and
Right.
Michael and Steph Curry and all, you know, yourself. I don't think that you and, first of all, your style of play, how you and D'Antoni mirrored so easily to transcend the game. That is the game today.
Yeah.
You guys were before his time, the true essence of before his time.
Well, I think it was right at the right time because the rules were changing too. So you couldn't like have two hands on a guy anymore. You know, when I came in the league, you could like literally hold a guy's hip and chuck him.
The old Derek Harper rule.
100%. No, like just stuck. I couldn't. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this, right? I mean, you go across the lane, bam. Like it was different, and that was the traditional way the game was played. That physicality. You know, the league, I think, wisely wanted to make it a more free-flowing, open, highlight the athleticism, which, you know, we're going to talk about it later, you know, where that's taken us and how we got here, which I think is amazing. So, like, you think about it. We were small. There's rim protectors. You got Timmy, you got Shaq, you got all these guys around. We didn't have that.
Right.
But we did have Amari, you know, who has unbelievable feet and hands and athleticism. So how can we cope defensively not being a rim protection team by one, being different, switching more, you know, trying to find ways to junk up the game in that respect. And on the offensive side, how can we blow teams away? And so it was an amazing time for me in a sense because I think I had just taken my game, my skills, my confidence to a new level. And then Mike opened the floor up to let me play.